and welcome to this new video for my channel, The Mental Traveler. I'm Kaye Herrera, and today I'm going to be reviewing a historical fiction novel called Tradewind. It was written by my second favorite author ever, Kaye, and it was published in 1985. Before I begin though, let me just say that this will be a spoiler-free video, so you can sit back and enjoy. I've always been a lover of history, and I've loved reading ever since I was 14. So it doesn't surprise me that my favorite books are historical fiction, particularly if they have a great epic love story as well, or if they cover several generations of a family. A few years ago I discovered Kaye, the author of my second and fourth favorite books ever, The Far Pavilions and Shadow of the Moon. I've already reviewed those books in my channel, and I seriously love them. I reread them every year on February, because they're just really close to my heart. And I've also read the author's autobiography, and it's splendid. I've reviewed that as well. But getting back to Tradewind, for years I knew that Kaye had written this other book, but after reading what it was about, I was like, it doesn't seem that interesting, I'll read it one day. Because I also recall reading the first pages and being like, maybe it's not gonna be for me at the moment. But after my annual reread of The Far Pavilions and Shadow of the Moon in 2020, I decided it was high time that I read Tradewind. So I bought it, and because I love spoilers, I looked up what it was about. So I sort of knew what was gonna happen before I read it, and I knew that it had controversial issues. In the middle of the 19th century, Hero Hollis, a young American heiress, moves to live with her relatives in Zanzibar, this beautiful island on the east coast of Africa. And while Zanzibar may look like paradise on earth, it is also the center of African slave trade. So Hero gets involved in it, desperately wanting to stop it, but not really realizing what are the best ways to achieve this. At one point, Hero meets Rory Frost, a cynical, wicked, shrewd, and good-humored trader in slaves and smuggler. Hero and Rory's personalities clash from the start, but some sort of attraction also begins between them at one point, even if they have such different points of views on basically everything. But since Tradewind is also historical fiction, we also get to meet the rulers of Zanzibar and their families, to the point where the island becomes a character in itself. But what will happen between Hero and Rory? And will Hero be able to stop the slave trade? I leave those things for you to find out. I am afraid that I didn't really like Tradewind at all, and I still struggle to comprehend how could Kaye, who wrote such epic, gorgeous, lavishly beautiful novels such as The Far Pavilions and Shadow of the Moon, could be the same author who wrote Tradewind. But yeah, I give this novel a 2.5 out of 5 stars review, because while I admire the author's research commitment and respect her interest in wanting to capture this particular period in history, I must confess that I couldn't even finish the book. I just skimmed through it. Why didn't I like it? Well, I didn't like the characters, or the burly romantic storyline. I thought the main character was annoying, and as I said, her leading man and her don't really have that much of a romantic relationship. And I mean, one of the controversial aspects of this novel are some things that he does to her. I don't want to really tell you what it is so as not to spoil it for you, but I am aware that this is a different time period. People didn't think the way they do now, and I get it, but that controversial issue wasn't even the main reason why I wasn't into the love story, and I also wasn't into the historical setting. So yeah, it's so sad that I really couldn't relate to Hero at all, but I just didn't like her ideas, her character, her actions, the way she behaves, and the way she treats others. And as to Rory, while I like smuggler stories, well, other aspects of this novel didn't really interest me, whether it's social or political or humanitarian. So yeah, I unfortunately wouldn't recommend Tradewind, but I definitely recommend you and urge you to read The Far Pavilions and Shadow of the Moon, because they're two completely different things to this book. And this reminds me that another time that I remember being shocked by an author is with Daphne du Maurier. I love My Cousin Rachel and I love Jamaica Inn. I haven't read Rebecca yet, but when I started reading Frenchman's Creek, I was like, seriously? Is this the same author? Everything seemed off, the writing style and the character development, so I couldn't even finish that as well. So it's funny when an author, you know, it's really good, surprises you like this. And especially with Tradewind, because Kaye is, as I said, my second favorite author ever. But yeah, anyways, for the moment I believe that this is all I have to say about Tradewind. Thank you so much for watching my review of it. Please let me know if you enjoyed it or not, as well as what are your own thoughts on this book or the author, because I would love to hear from you and know if you also struggle with this book. But yeah, anyways, in the description box below you can find a link to the Goodreads page for the novel. And well, I'm Kaye Herrera, the Mental Traveler, and I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you're in the world. I'll be seeing you soon. Goodbye!